so this may look like your typical 911 Porsche, but it's probably one of the rarest Porsches of all time. See, this was developed back when Porsche didn't think dual clutch was good enough yet, and you can find a new GT car on a showroom for months. The 997 GT2 RS. But how does it compare to its 8-year newer, big wing Rodeo driver approved brother, the 991 GT2 RS? Old school tech, new school tech? I don't know. Today we'll find out. So here we are on the all-new 911 GT2 RS. RS for Rennsport. Rennsport means racing sport. Typically it was reserved for the homologation models with Porsche, but the past few models, they haven't been doing that. 997, for instance, 997 GT2 RS. They deem these cars so fast and so extreme and so valuable of a performance envelope that it was worthy enough for the RS badge. So here we are, GT2 RS. There was no standard GT2 for the 991, just this monster. All right, so unlike the 997, this was not a 500 model production run vehicle. We really don't know how many they made, but I'm gonna assume they made about 1,500 of these GT2 RSs. This is actually a 2019 model. There was a rumor before there was a 1-year model run or super limited. The first run was an 18, but there are some 19 GT2 RSs. Bam, right here. It is definitely one of the most extreme vehicles that I've ever driven. Because of what Porsche is today in the market, it doesn't give me that sense of undrivability, of craziness, wow factor. It doesn't really feel like a Widowmaker. I'm gonna say that now. When I say Widowmaker, I don't feel it in this car. It feels controlled, it feels stable. The dual clutch transmission makes everything seamless. The chassis feels good, absorbs bumps like a normal car. I mean, I'm on a somewhat decent road, but not great road. It absorbs bumps at low speed or high speed just like a typical vehicle would. And that's crazy coming from a car that lapped the Nürburgring at 6 minutes 47 seconds. And let's talk about that. 6:47. What? The 918 did it about 10 seconds or so slower. The 997 GT2 RS did it 24 seconds slower. And here we go with this road drivable car that you can hear me talking, and I'm sitting in the seat normally, not scared, not spinning wheels, and it's going through the ring faster than what many race cars can do. And that is just, you have to think Porsche is on some other stuff. You have to think they're on something that nobody else is on, because that's just not normal. This is a car of another level. It's a car of another dimension, especially for the price range. I mean, this thing fights with as expensive as a car can get. It fights it, it battles it. Most of the time it wins. 99% of the time it's gonna win. If you didn't know, it's about 700 horsepower. 691 horsepower to be more exact, 553 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 in about 2.5 seconds, although I don't really care. That's mostly due to grip, dual clutch transmission, and launch control. I don't like 0 to 60 times, and 211 miles per hour. Top speed, that is hypercar territory some years ago. This is a $300-some thousand 911. Like, what the heck, man? Where are we getting to? When is the horsepower war going to stop, or is it going to stop? And it's crazy to think how technology has allowed us to manage these vehicles like this, to control them. Years ago, 700 horsepower would have felt uncanny, uncontrollable, scary, death wish. By the way, I have the death by car button, the ESCTC off. That button is not getting hit. I'm keeping the death by car button off. I want to save myself and save my pocketbook because I can't wreck this car. On that, while it's so stable, if I was to turn that button off and drive hard, maybe I would feel a little bit more wow factor, you know, something like, oh, I really can't control this thing. But I can't say because it's not going to happen. But based on what my sensations are driving it, I don't think that button would really change my driving sensation too much. Without being on the track and trying to drift it or just go all out 8, 9 tenths, I can't say it's going to make that big of a difference for me. Porsche started this launch control thing in the last few years, and we're gonna try it out. 700 horsepower rear wheel drive. So we're gonna throw it in PDK Sport, put the exhaust on just because, throw it in automatic and make it easy, put it in first, brakes, power, and go. So let's go. Oh! Hey, do it one more time, I cursed. What makes the 991 for me is I love the fact that I can listen to music in great clarity, have a coffee, and decide to drive 200 miles per hour all in the same minute and not be stressed about it. So on the road, does it give me the same feeling as a 997 GT2 RS? Do I trade luxury and comfort for experience? Because speed is relative. It really doesn't feel that much faster than the 997 GT2 RS on the road, but it's a lot more attainable, a lot more stable. So it's either luxury, comfort, amenities like the Bose audio, which I like, and the leatherette and all this good carbon fiber and Alcantara stuff. It looks nice. Do I trade that for an experience? And that, I don't know yet. We're here for the 997 GT2 RS. Most people never see this car, let alone get a chance to drive it or track it. That's 3.6 liter twin turbo, about 23 PSI boost, approximately 610 horsepower, 516 pound-feet of torque, and about 3,050 pounds versus the 991 GT2's 3,250 pounds or so. It's almost 200 pounds lighter than the 997. Rear-wheel drive only and manual transmission. This car was crazy when it came out. I mean, it wowed people. The specs were off the charts. The aggressiveness was off the charts. And to this day, it still seems kind of wild how they made it, how they pulled this off without being illegal. All this master engine power. You can hear the spool. This is a brute. This is a monster. This is Porsche. This is what Porsche wants you to think they are. We get the stereotype of Germans and Porsche racing cars and old 964s and 993s. While I've never driven some of those, I feel like a lot of those cars encompasses what this is. It has an old school feeling with a bit of new school tech, old school tiling with some new school lines. This is the experience car. I'm going to be clear about that. Already I can tell, if you want an experience, 997 is an immediate way to get there. I mean, oh my word. Third to second. You can hear the turbos is constantly spooling. Oh, I love that. This is the more exciting car to listen to, more exciting car to roll. It's the only one to roll in a gear standpoint, but it's the more exciting car to be in, to experience something that shouldn't be available, something that only Porsche could develop. Maybe there's something that gives you a bit of hint to just old school cars in general. Even though this is a 2011 model, in some ways, because of the new technology, this feels substantially older than a 2011 model. And that's a lot to be said about this car and how historic it is and how heralded it is and how many people want it and the value, almost $500,000 for this car right now. Again, as far as its compliance on the road, it's not too bad. It's not as nice as the newer cars, but it's not too bad. You can deal with it. It definitely doesn't feel as technology forward as the newer cars. You have a more old school dash. The audio system sucks, it's terrible. The PCM is terrible, navigation is terrible. But it's a GT2 RS. Again, you don't buy it for all this stuff. You buy it for the experience. And I think this is where the 997 shines. When it comes to having an experience and feeling everything around you, I don't think this car can be beat. I don't think the 991 GT2 RS stands a chance because you feel everything in here. Everything engages you. Everything keeps your focus. When you hit the throttle, you had better know what you're doing. And every time you throttle, you feel the car kind of pull up and God, that old school twin turbo power is nothing like it. But wait, watch for the turbo spool. That wasn't me, that was a turbo, I'm telling you. I didn't do it. So the differentiators, this car wants you to work. It wants you to use some sweat and some tears and a bit of blood and a lot of work to get the performance of it look right. And when you do it, it rewards you. It makes you happy. It makes the chassis happy. The newer cars don't have that issue. They give you performance. They give you speed and say, hey, don't worry about it. I'm going to hold back a little bit and let you have some fun and keep you safe. And this car does not give you that feeling. You have to get it right. And when you get it right, it's a next level experience. So that being said, which one? Which one for the road? Which one for the track? Well, the track is next, so we'll find out about that. I'm still thinking about the road. So here I am driving one of the rarest Porsches ever, S-Speed on the track, and it's worth about $500,000. And I'm supposed to be comfortable. Not so much comfortable, but boy, does it feel good, I'll tell you that. This little boy from Louisiana is definitely having the time of his life. Back straight. The torque. There we go. Hold it steady, boy. All right. Now this MSR Houston is a little bit of a tighter track, not super high speed, some technical corners. So I'm not going to feel too much of the rear downforce, high-speed downforce abilities of this car, but it's going to let me really test out the nimbleness and the braking power. Super technical corners. Hard brakes, slight right, real hard brakes. Downshift to second, oh, the brakes are good. Carbon ceramics is rare, of course. There was no other option. This is the fastest thing Porsche could make. They're not going to give you steals on this thing. I love it. Just go. Oh, my excitement may come over a little bit crazy over the counter, but I really don't care. You have to ask yourself, how am I supposed to tame almost 620 horsepower with my little amateur skill set? There really is no way to tame it. You just have to drive it and hope it doesn't bite you. Have some confidence in yourself. Because the old school Porsches, and I say old school even though it's not that old, but compared to new ones, it's old school. They demand your attention. That's one thing I'm noticing. It demands my attention. I almost don't want to talk, and I'm not going to talk too much. Probably. I've never driven a 997 GT2, but I've driven other 997s, including my GT3, and they turn the notch way up for this thing. It feels that much more precise. The turn-ins that much tighter. It has that much more grip than any of the other models. I see why this is legendary. My goodness. I don't know if you can hear the engine, but honestly, I'm a stereotype when it comes to newer turbo engines. I talk crap about them, and I'm not a fan of how many of them sound. And while this doesn't have a musical note, it don't sound near as bad as I gave it the credit for. One comment, but I love all that Archie 997 gear feel. But I love dual clutch transmissions. There's something to say about a manual transmission. It's not the fastest on the track, but you feel like you have so much control. And it's so much more satisfying to hit that 4-3 downshift, 3-2 downshift to say, I've done my job well. And the engine just sings back at you. Like a manual transmission when it comes to that part of satisfaction, man. Again, it makes you focus more, but my goodness. How did Porsche come out with this in 2011? Oh my goodness. I'm sweating, I'm fatigued, I've been out here for a few minutes and I feel my whole body. This car does something that new cars don't do. I don't know how they had it road legal in 2011. Just remake this car, Porsche. Just give it a manual, call it 992.4. I don't care, just bring it out again. How it engages you is next level. And honestly, I can't really begin to explain how it's gonna compare to that. I really don't know. But it's what we're here to find out, right? 991 GT2 RS. Old school, bloody type of feeling versus new technology. What am I gonna expect? It's faster. It has more power. It's dual clutch, more rubber. Yeah, it's gonna be faster on the clock. I'm not a pro driver. How is it gonna make me feel? That's my question. Am I gonna be as excited? Is it gonna engage my soul like the 997 did? I really don't know. I have a thought, but before I give it that, let me just get in here and find out. What a massive difference. It feels like a 10-year generation gap, literally. PDK sport on, exhaust bloopers open. Oh my goodness. What have you done, Porsche? Is this what y'all be hiding over there? Is what y'all be doing on your off time, huh? Developing this. Before you flip it, you better drive this thing, take it to a track. Wow. Immediately versus the 997, the level of confidence is times 20. Like my fear level, other than the fact that it's not my vehicle, is next to nothing. It's insane. Even with more power. Oh, it's like a locomotive. My voice is getting cracked from excitement. I love it. This thing right here is a weapon. Good gosh. Oh my word. Porsche, you have outdone yourself. You sons of guns. The only similarity in this for me so far is the rear engine, Porsche, and the turbos. The way they behave is substantially different. I'm already jabbing into the corners way deeper. I don't feel near the hesitation to brake as early as I did the 997. Oh my goodness. This should not be given to people like me. You've probably seen on the video how I'm already moving substantially quicker versus the 997. Oh my word. Everything about the track performance Oh, there we go, there we go. Trail brake in. Oh, substantial. Come on, Porsche. That's what I'm talking about. It's so stable. So freaking stable. Good gosh. The rear works with you in this car so much nicer. You can tell the work Porsche has put into the chassis because it's working with you like a mother. It just rotates. You don't have quite the understeer sensation as you would get in a 997. I don't feel the need to trail brake, or I don't feel the lack of trail brake results so much. It definitely wants me to roll. There we go. Give it all you got, Porsche. All right, I gotta say, I'm having more raw fun in this on the track. Not because it engages me more, but because it lets me play more. I'm not drifting, but I wouldn't feel too uncomfortable trying to put this sideways. Whereas a 997, I would be afraid. One, because it doesn't give you that same level of confidence. Two, because it's so freaking rare and valuable. This, you're like, okay, it's new, it's expensive, but it's not a legend yet. This is just a toy. If you are owning this car and not putting it on the track, you need some help. I'll tell you right now, get off your tail, go to a track, and feel what the Porsche has done. I cannot explain this any more than I am now. The 991s have a great way to make you feel like Superman. And this, Superman, Iron Man, Thor, I don't know who you want to feel like, but this definitely does a good job making you feel like a superhero. Like, oh yeah, I'm fast. I'm fast as nuts. I'm faster than everybody. So they did it again. They did it again. The level of performance of this thing is on another level. I did not think it was going to be that different from a 997. Where this makes you work, this just makes you go. It just wants to make you faster, and I don't get it. And I'm not near as tired. It really just lets you focus on having a good time, and I think that's the biggest difference. This is an experience, a 997. The 991 is just about going fast. Like their whole idea, dual clutch, the engine, everything, the efficiency is all about going fast, and you feel it. You become what they design, and that's the most incredible part about this. If you want something to just have a tool and a road car and go fast at the track and look good and go to Cars and Coffee and Cars, whatever you want to call it, and just blow everybody away, this is the car for it. So today I've worked with a PCA and Formula Garage to do something that most people would dream about. Drive the latest generations of the 911 GT2 RS. But the question is, which one would I take? On one hand, you have the 991 GT2 RS, the Iron Man. A bit arrogant, a bit cocky, but super efficient and makes everything seem so effortless. It's the car that Porsche has to keep making. And without these halo cars, the 911 would not be what the 911 is today. If I'm on a track and I just want to haul and not worry about a missed downshift and practice on a line, this is the car I'm taking. It just makes everything so much easier. But the 997 GT2 RS, Thor, power, brute force, devastation, one GT Silver package. If I want to take a road trip or have a short drive and I want to experience Porsche and what has made Porsche today as something that no other car can replicate, it's this right here. Because of that, it's what I'm taking.
I'm feeling strong enough to bring the world into. Feels like never seen.